This is another one of my projects. It's a box for the DSO I want. It's a box I'm making, but I want text on it, and you can see I've already done some text, and this is just to show you how I've done it. Basically, you need a laser printer, and you need some magazine. Well, it's more of a satin type thin paper. You need some acetone, which basically nail polish remover. I'm using this Q-Tex. There's two types, I think. Basically, there's this blue stuff, which is ultra powerful. Don't use that. It's this, yeah, it's a blue colour, that, and this is the greenish, well, light yellow, I don't know, green, pale green, tint green. Anyways, this is the stuff that I'm using. Basically, I use a small little 1 milliliter, is it? Yeah, 1 milliliter syringe, and I just measure out 2 parts nail polish remover, 1 part water. Mix it all together and put it in my syringe. The plastic I'm using is PLA. Well, it's PLA plus. I think it might make a difference, so it's a PLA plus. Basically, first I'll just do a test piece just to show you. First thing I do is just put a bit on the thing and just give it a rub around, and a wipe with the tissue. That's it, just cleans it off. What I normally do is print my text out first on the laser, so I know where to put this sheet, stick this sheet to it, send it through the printer again, and then it comes out on this sheet. Try to use clear stuff, and I try not to do it all at once. What I've done is I've cut it up into little bits. You can see where I've cut all the bits off it, and they're all here in small individual pieces. I suggest doing it in small steps. Trying to do one big step, a bit too much. So I've done some tests. So that's my reset for that. So not there. Where have I done my tests? There we go. There's a test. So that's on a bit of paper, and you can see it's got test on it, backwards of course, and mirrored, reversed, whatever. And basically just place it on the plastic which you've just cleaned. Get it lined up how you want it. Add just a few drops, just so the paper goes transparent. So just a little bit over the top, and then just stroke over the top gently, just stroke away, and the acetone will evaporate, leaving just the water. So as you do it, it'll tend to start to look dry and feel dry to the touch, and it'll be just damp from the water that's in there. The acetone will have evaporated, and then you just peel it off, and there we go. If there's any text from the paper, if there's any text from that come through onto it, just put a bit more acetone over the top, and then just rub the text away, and then dry it off, and then you're left with the text on top, and it's well on there basically. You can't rub it, you can scrape it off if you get a sharp scraper and scrape it off, but just rubbing it and touching it, it doesn't move. So there's my test. So what I'm going to do is hopefully not mess this one up. There's another test. That's the one. Starts with this. What I want is my reset in there, so I've got my reset. So I'll just put a bit of acetone on, a little tiny drop. You can see how small a drop that is, and then just give it a rub, and then wipe any excess. get me reset. There it is. Can I see? I don't know. Put on the lights. That's me reset. It's in reverse. So what I want is that on there. What I suggest is when you cut these, is you have the bit that you need and have a little bit to hold on to. So I'll just put my reset there. Line it up. There we go. I think that's about right. I think there's only a couple of drops on this, so just, like I say, a little tiny drop, just so the paper goes transparent. There we go. That's way too much, but and then stroke over the top. Just do it gently until the acetone evaporates out. You can help it along with the tissue, like that. Now when it looks a bit dryish, I'll just try and bring it a bit closer to the camera. When it looks fairly dry, just peel it off. There we go, there's the reset. And that looks, it's cool to me, does that? Perfect. Then just give it a good rub and dry off. I tend to push down with the tissue and just make sure it squeezes any excess out. And there we go, there's the reset. Could put ground underneath this one here. So there's me ground in reverse. You can see that, yeah, ground. So basically, just give it a, don't forget to give it a clean first. So I'll just put a bit on, give it a little rub, and then a wipe, and then we're ready with the paper. Let's just see. Let's put a kink in that, so I can see where G is. Get it the right way up as well. G's at this end. Trouble with things reversed is. So I reckon about there with it. This will only want one little drop. There we go, and then just slow, nice and gentle. Just smooth it off. And don't take long to dry. And then just peel the paper off. And there's our ground. There's a little bit of ink from the original paper, so I'll just put a bit of stuff on, give it a rub and a wipe. Oops, I was too quick with that. There we go. Took away a bit of the D. I shouldn't have. Anyways, yeah, it didn't look too bad. Yeah, it'll do for me. I'm not going to do that one again. Right, so now what I've got is some cross here. Yeah, look at my original print. So I've got my ground AC and DC. So there's my ground AC and DC, and it goes that way around. Right, so that wants to go a line, something like that. Yeah, I reckon paper flush with top and in the middle. So I reckon just shine light through it a bit. You can see where they are. Oh, you can't see that, but basically I've got a bright light here, and what I'm doing is, can I see that? I'm just shining the light through the back just to see where I want it to be. So I've got it lined up. Do it left-handed. And a bit for the DC, a bit for the AC, and a bit for the ground. and just stroke that across. Let's go that way with that. There we go. When it feels dryish, then you're about done there. Basically, you just need the acetone to disappear. Use a tissue, give it a wipe over the top. Don't know if you can see that in the light, but it's a slight dark bit there, so I just want to get rid of that. Just put a bit of acetone there, not too much. And then just give that a wipe. There we go. Just push down with it. And we're done. There we go. So that's got maybe three positions for that switch. Then I want 3 more for this, which is my divides. So somewhere got my divides. So basically that divide is above the top. So middle's about where switches. What I can actually do is I can take a look at the back. Use whatever means you want to line it up like, but yeah, I think that look. I'll hold it up to the light a bit. I'm sure there's some easier ways to do this. Take your time. I think we're about there. So I think that's about lined up. Doing it left-handed again. Right, so there. So I've got divide across the top. One here, one there. So just put some acetone across there, and there, and just let's put dry in the middle there. Yeah, just make sure it's all wet when you press down. That's it. As long as it's wet while you press down, and after that, once it dries off, the acetate will just evaporate, leaving the water. Just stroke it down, and then we'll lift up. Now that one didn't come out too well. I forgot to clean it, didn't I? I did not clean it. I didn't clean that one. I was lucky with that one. So what I'll do is I'll have to scrape that off. See if I can get it wiped off with a bit of acetone. But yeah, if you make a mistake, acetone and a scraper. See, you will have to scrape a bit off at this to get that off. Well, making a mistake shows you how to get it off. Well, I just dropped my scraper. I'll come back to that. Oh, here's my ruler. But basically, you need something that will scrape away acetone and scrape. Don't come off too easy. Well, you don't want it to come off too easy. There we go. See if we can make a better job of the next one. This time, this is me multiply. Let's put a bit of acetone on and clean it this time. There we go. Right, now we've cleaned it. Hopefully this one will go better than the last one. all for making mistakes. If it puts, well, you can see what can go wrong, can't you? Right, let's see if I can get this lined up. Lined up that way. I think we're about like that way. Fingers crossed. Alright, I think I've got it in the right place. And on with the acetone. Oh, the watered down nail remover anyway. I think I missed a bit there. Oh, that's just a one. Bit unsure, give it a bit of a squeeze, that might help as well. I think practice makes perfect, doesn't it? Like I say, this is the most complicated one I've ever done. Normally it's just been one little word. First one I did was this little LiPo thing, little LiPo charger, put him on the back, and that was my first attempt anyway. So this is a bit more complex. Let's see what we've done. Oh, there we go. Give that a rub. Got a bit of writing on there, so I just need a bit of acetone to get rid of that. Bit here. Get a bit rid of that. Just be careful when you're rubbing that you don't rub with the acetone on the text. Dry it off. Bit of a squeeze. And a good rub. Get it bedded in there. There we go. I got that. That one came out better. Like I say, cleaned it first, so obviously must remember to get it cleaned first. I'll have to reprint that one and do that one again. So let's have a go at doing these down this side. There's quite a few of these. I've got 4 icons I want to do. Remember, clean first. So let's get a bit of acetone on there. Oh, plenty on there. Give it a good rub. Give it a wipe. Dry it off before we put paper on, otherwise it'll start coming off before we want it to. And right, so lining this up, I think if I've cut the paper right, I want the same gap at top and bottom, and I think I need it flush down there, so we get it lined up that way, and so you come across, I reckon about there. Fingers crossed again. Have a quick look behind, get some light behind it. Oh, I've got a bit damp there, so it's going to ruin it now. Shit, moved. Damn. Dear, oh dear. Right, I think we're in the right place. Oh, are we? Start again. Right. Yeah. Probably think I'm a right bodger at this anyway. We'll get there in the end. Right, so, right. That and that. I can bring it across. So that's just level with that. Now I reckon there. It comes a being old, you get the shakes. I need some more acetone. Right, see if I can hold it down without moving it. Right, I think I'm in the right place. Let's get some acetone on there so I can see it all. There we go. Oh, there's my arrows. There's me thingamajiggy. I think I've got it. I don't think I've got it all there. So just got to watch the paper. It swells a bit sometimes when you put acetone on. So, like I said, doing too many at once, you could end up getting them smudged. And a little squeeze over each one. When you squeeze it, it squeezes the acetone from underneath the text. Hopefully. I think I might just put a bit more acetone on that one, just to make sure I've got that edge. There we go. And that looks about right. Just keep smoothing it off. Doing it until it, oh look, well, basically you get to know when the acetone's disappeared and it's just left with the water basically. So, fingers crossed. Let's have a look. Oh yes, that looks good to me. Let's just give it a squeeze with the tissue. Yeah, just make sure that's squeezed on there. There's a few bits of text around here from the original paper. I just want to get rid of that with a bit of acetone and a bit of a wipe. That just gets rid of that. But I think I've got, oh, there's a little bit there. You can see that. Put a bit of acetone on and a bit of a wipe. Yeah, try not to wipe the other. Just try not to wipe any of your text while you've got acetone on it. Just dry off the acetone before you actually wipe it. And once there's no acetone there, you can just rub it like you want. You know, it's not going to come off. Well, you rub hard enough on anything, it'll come off. But anyways, that looks good. I've just got I've got one more to do here, but I need to print that out again. But I hope that was of some interest to somebody, you know, who wants to do something similar with a plastic box or anything you print on your printer. So adding a bit of text or something does make it look a little more professional, really, I think. So I hope you enjoyed that. All right.